everything around her still feels completely chaotic? Because what should have been the easiest success story in basketball is suddenly turning into nonstop drama. Sold-out arenas, exploding TV ratings, millions of new fans flooding into the league. And yet somehow, every week feels like another argument, another controversy, another weird headline surrounding Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. And now fans are asking a question nobody expected this early in her career. Is Caitlin Clark already getting tired of Indiana? Because the truth is, this situation has started feeling less like a basketball partnership and more like one of those celebrity relationships where both sides keep smiling in public while everybody watching can tell something feels off underneath the surface. And the scary part for Indiana? Fans are starting to notice it too. The moment Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA, everything changed overnight. Games that barely got attention before suddenly became major events. Arenas started filling up hours before tip-off. Ticket prices exploded. Television ratings jumped to levels the league hadn't seen in years. Even people who never watched women's basketball suddenly knew exactly when the Fever were playing. And honestly, that kind of impact almost never happens this fast. Usually, rookies need years to become faces of a league. Caitlin walked into the WNBA and immediately became the center of the entire basketball universe. Opposing teams literally started moving games into bigger arenas because demand was getting out of control. Kids were asking for Caitlin Clark jerseys for birthdays. Sports debate shows that barely mentioned the WNBA before suddenly spent entire segments talking about Indiana. She didn't just become popular, she became the attraction. That's why fans get so emotional whenever they feel like the Fever mishandle anything involving her. Because from the outside, it feels like Indiana accidentally inherited the winning lottery ticket of professional sports and still somehow keeps creating unnecessary drama around it. And the first massive explosion came during the load management controversy. What made fans so angry wasn't just that Caitlin missed the game, it was how suddenly everything happened. Reports came out barely an hour before tip-off. 1 hour. That meant thousands of people had already parked, bought food, bought merchandise, and sat down expecting to watch the biggest star in women's basketball, only to suddenly find out she wasn't playing. And that's when social media completely lost its mind. Fans were furious because many of them weren't spending huge money just to watch random regular season basketball. They were specifically paying to see Caitlin Clark. Whether people want to admit it or not, she became the main attraction almost instantly. That's just reality. Radio hosts started unloading on the Fever. Commentators questioned the timing. Even neutral fans started asking why the communication surrounding Caitlin always seemed so messy. Then things got even more awkward when reports surfaced that the WNBA had reportedly issued a warning regarding proper injury report procedures. And once that happened, trust started disappearing fast, because sports fans are already suspicious by nature. The second communication feels inconsistent. Every little detail suddenly becomes evidence for a bigger conspiracy. A normal injury update turns into internet detectives studying body language, interview tone, and facial expressions like they're working an FBI investigation. And unfortunately for Indiana, that's exactly what started happening. Every interaction between Caitlin Clark and head coach Stephanie White suddenly became headline material. A short sideline clip? Viral. An awkward camera angle? Viral. A press conference answer? Viral. At one point, fans started obsessing over a moment where Caitlin appeared frustrated during a sideline interaction with her coach. Some people thought it meant nothing. Others acted like they had uncovered secret internal tension inside the franchise. And to be fair, social media makes everything look bigger than it really is sometimes. But perception matters. Once fans start believing there's tension, every future interaction gets interpreted through that lens. Suddenly, a normal basketball disagreement becomes proof that relationships inside the organization are falling apart. That's the dangerous thing about modern sports media. Nobody waits for facts anymore. People build entire narratives from a 3-second clip. And then Caitlin made one comment that sent the internet into complete chaos. During a lighthearted moment with teammate Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin joked about being there until next year. On the surface, it sounded harmless. Two teammates joking around about contracts and the future, but sports